Do I have any regrets about my law school application? Yes. I do have a few regrets about my law school application, actually. I have a laundry list. Just kidding. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Madison. It is nice to meet you. I am a future 1L student. I'm starting law school this fall if you're new to my channel. And I thought I would do sort of a Q&A type of thing. Basically, I get DMs on Instagram more frequently than you would probably expect with my subscriber count, but you guys do message me on Instagram. It's really cool. So I thought I'd pull some of those questions. A lot of the questions I get are very specific to certain situations, so I thought I'd kind of make the questions more broad and answer them. Then I sprinkled a couple other ones in just for fun, you know? Why not ask myself questions and then answer them for a YouTube video? If you have any other questions, you can leave them in the comments below, or you can DM me on Instagram. I would love to hear from you. And if you are new to my channel, you should subscribe. I would love to have you as a subscriber. It means so much to me when you guys subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into the questions. Let's jump into the first question. What 1L class are you most excited for and least excited for? This is a good question. I actually hadn't really thought much about this. I think the two classes I'm most excited for are constitutional law, which I know a lot of people probably aren't excited for that one, but you know, I love all things Constitution. What can I say? I'm a quirky gal. And then obviously criminal law. Everyone's excited for criminal law. I'm not expecting it to be some super groundbreaking, super exciting thing all the time, but I am interested in it. It's an area of law that I would be interested in working in potentially, so it'll be cool to take a class about it. Classes I'm not excited for, I mean, property. I mean, it's property. Why? That does not sound fun to me at all. That sounds absolutely horrid. And torts, because, you know, what is a tort? What is it really? It's a civil wrong, okay? Yeah, that's the definition. What is that? I don't know. I'm not excited for it at all. It's really one of those classes that I dread. I would say I'm about split. Like, half of the classes for 1L I'm kind of excited for, and the other half I'm like, wish me luck. I'm gonna need some help to get through these, but you know, we'll make it through, hopefully. Okay, I added this one. Favorite law-related book, movie, or TV series? I'm gonna plug a book, a movie, and a TV series. And okay, preface, I know that these are very dramatic and they're not indicative of the real legal world, okay? Preface that really quick. The first one is a book I've talked about in my Why I Want to Go to Law School video, which I will put in the cards. That is Just Mercy by Bryan Stevenson. I absolutely love that book. That book is one of the things that made me want to go to law school and be an attorney. He is a public defender on death row, and I think especially with everything going on with the Black Lives Matter movement, if you want to be more educated around that, he does touch on that aspect in a couple of the chapters of the book, so I do recommend that you pick it up. It's such a good read. I love it. Movie, I love legal movies. I mean, you'd expect me, look at me, you'd expect me to say Legally Blonde, right? I mean, I look like that girl, and I am, kind of. I love Elle Woods, but my favorite legal movie right now is The Rainmaker, because I love Matt Damon, and you know, I can kind of relate. He just graduated law school, he's studying for the bar, he's handling all these cases. I just love that movie. I think it's really well done, and you should definitely watch it. And then this is the one that I kind of really prefaced for. My favorite legal TV show is How to Get Away with Murder. I know, you don't need to judge me. Is it the most accurate thing? No. Has everybody killed somebody? Yes. But do I still love it? Yeah, kind of. Next question. If I could give only one LSAT study tip, what would it be? I should have planned out an answer to this. I'm gonna give two, one more about the test and one just in general. One about the test is, while you're studying, make sure you're understanding why you're missing questions. Please. Don't just look at the answer and be like, I got that wrong, and then move on. You're not gonna learn anything unless you really understand why. It's so much more beneficial to spend 2 hours on one question and now understand why you got it wrong and be able to move on to the next topic than spend 2 hours doing 3 practice sections and then never going back over and checking why you missed a certain question. You're going to get so much farther focusing on that one question for an extended amount of time if you can learn from it, learn from your mistake, and then take that knowledge and use it in future sections. But overall, my biggest LSAT tip is it's just a test. It is just a test. And I know it's so hard, and I got really caught up in it too. I'd go on site, I'm studying for the LSAT 60 hours a week, and I got a 175, and it's so overwhelming, and I know it is. You can get into law school without a score that's in the 170 to 180 category. You can get into law school with an average LSAT score. I did, and I'm going to a great school. You just need to understand it's just a test. I know people blow it up to be some big thing. People act like it's the end all be all of everything. And that's one of the big things about my channel is I just want you to know you can still go to a really good law school even if your LSAT score isn't way up here, and you're not dumb if you're just not good at the LSAT. And it doesn't mean you're gonna fail in law school either. If I could give one law school application tip in general, what would it be? Okay, so we're outside of the LSAT. Now we're just talking about application tip in general. I think I've mentioned, it's really hard because I've made a lot of videos about this stuff, and I will put the playlist for my law school applications and advice vlogs in the cards so you can watch them. But if I could give just one piece of advice, it would be to take pride in every single aspect of your application. And this kind of goes along with what I was saying. It's not just all about numbers. Really take pride in it. I don't care if you got a 170 on the LSAT or you got a 140 on the LSAT. Still put effort into the rest of your application. Just do it. If you're writing an essay that says, why do you want to come here? Put time into that. Write an essay that you're proud of. Write a personal statement that you're proud of. Make your resume the best that it can be, because I don't care what end of the spectrum you fall on in regards to numbers. Make sure that when you hand in your application, I know it's hard if you're a perfectionist, because I am too, so it's really, you're never going to get to a place where you feel like it's perfect, but get to a place where you feel proud submitting the application that you're submitting. And if you're proud of it, that means you put a lot of work into it, and it means it's good. That's what I got on that. Do I have any regrets about my law school application? Yes. I do have a few regrets about my law school application, actually. I have a laundry list, just kidding. I would say the biggest one is not applying to a lot of schools. I applied to 2, and this is a very privileged thing to say because law school applications are very expensive. People can drop upwards of thousands of dollars just on applications, especially if maybe you're aiming for the T14 and you just apply all down the list. That's a lot of money you're spending on application fees. And I spent a lot, and I only applied to 2 schools for like law school reports, application fees, the CAS for LSAC and all that stuff. It adds up. It's a lot of money, but I do wish I would have applied to more because it really is an investment. So I applied to the school that I'm going to kind of on a whim. I didn't expect that I was gonna get in. And when I did get in and I got my scholarship information, I really wish I would have applied to more schools in the same rank range so that I could have used those schools to negotiate my scholarship. I just didn't do that. I think part of it was because I really thought it was a long shot and I didn't think I was gonna have to worry about it because I thought I was gonna get rejected, to be quite frank with you. If I would have applied to those other schools, I definitely would have had more negotiation power, because the other school that I applied and got into, it just wasn't in the same ballpark. Like, an offer from them didn't really mean anything to the school I was going to, just because they're ranks apart, you know? So that would be my tip. If you are able, I know a lot of people aren't able, apply to as many schools as possible, because it can pay off in the back end. So you're putting money in now, you're getting more scholarship money later when you use it to negotiate. So that is my biggest regret about my law school application. All right, the next question. My favorite class that I've ever taken in undergrad, high school, middle school, kindergarten. I'll tell you, my least favorite class was handwriting. That was like my worst thing, because I'm a lefty. This is a tangent. I'm probably gonna cut this out. I was a lefty and I sucked at handwriting. But my favorite class I've ever taken, in college, I took 2 that I would say are my favorite classes. One is Foundations of Law, and that was taught by a professor at the law school that my undergrad feeds into, and I love that class. That's why I'm so excited for constitutional law, because Foundations of Law kind of was like constitutional law. I really enjoyed that class. Since he was a law school professor, he did have sort of the Socratic method of teaching. He had a list and he'd cold call. I think it really did give me the feel of what a law school class would be like, and it was really cool to have a law professor. So I really enjoyed that class. The other class was for my major. I have a psychology degree, and if you did watch my Why I Want to Go to Law School video, you'll know that I did want to be a psychiatrist or a clinical psychologist for a brief period, and my favorite class in that major that I took was clinical psychology. psychology, a lot of case studies, a lot of diagnosing, a lot of coming up with a treatment plan. I really enjoyed that class. One of the best decisions I ever made in undergrad was not doing a political science major and doing a psychology major instead. I'll never regret that. I love my psychology major. Do I have a plan for how I'm going to tackle my first semester in general and if it is completely online? So my school has come out and said, I mentioned this briefly in my last video, that basically as of right now, 3/4 of our classes are online and 1 will be in person, but that is obviously subject to change. But do I have a plan? I mean, I'm not gonna rent out an office space. If you're unaware, that's what Harvard told its students to do, was to rent out an office space so they wouldn't get distracted, which is wild. But I think if it's online, I'm just really gonna have to keep myself in check and make sure I'm keeping up with everything. I had a really hard time with online classes my last semester of undergrad, so I am kind of nervous about it. I just think that for me, keeping a strict schedule of like classes and then work at home is something that I'm gonna need to do. It's gonna need to be like an hour by hour schedule because I just work like that. I can't be like, oh, well, today I might study for like 2 hours. No, it's gonna have to be 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. reading. I just need a strict schedule. So that's how I'm planning on tackling it if it's online. And what are your living plans for law school? I don't think I've ever talked about this. I think I answered it in a comment on one of my videos, but I live about 30-ish minutes away from my law school, maybe a little quicker if you speed, maybe a little slower if there's traffic, you know, but I'm just gonna live at home. I think my school allocates about $14,000 for housing expenses if you take it out on your loans, and that is just not worth it to me when I can live at home for, thankfully, free. So I'm gonna be living at home. That's the one thing that I would say is a pro if classes go online, is I won't have that commute, but I don't really mind commuting that much. I mean, I kind of like driving. Yeah, so I will be living at home, and that's unfortunate because I won't have like an apartment tour or anything, but you know, saving money wherever I can because I have student loans, and if I can save $14,000 a year, you bet I'm gonna do it. And that is all for this Q&A. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want me to do another one in the future, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to do another one. I can do them law related. I'll do another one for sure after I start law school. I can do them just personal life. If you wanna know more about me, I do have a get to know me video. It's very outdated and kind of embarrassing, so don't watch it, but I'll put it in the cards anyways. So if you do watch it, like, I guess that's okay. We can still be friends. But I am going to go subscribe to my channel if you are new, and I will talk to you in my next video.